And just like that, class is over and I'm already back home. And my keys are out so I can open the door, which may or may not be a good idea because it's muggy. I've been getting mosquito bites. But I've had my snack. My ice in my water has long since melted. The element is still there. LMNT. And I use Bill Knott's affiliate link to get it. I mean, everybody's doing element, but it tastes good. And I believe it was not really implicated in my really bad stall last year. I didn't lose weight for a few months. But the amount of time I don't lose weight does not matter near as much as the amount of weight I have already lost. Because I was getting way too close to 300. And for someone who's like 5 foot nothing, and I'm actually just about that much more than 5 foot nothing. So 1.75 inches, yeah. I'm 1.75 inches past 5 foot nothing. But, you find yourself getting unhealthy, you gotta start doing things that'll make you healthier. And I've mentioned before, if you're trying to start losing excessive size, body fat, I mean, if you just want to lose weight, you can schedule someone to come over and knock your arm off with an axe. That's not the weight you want to lose. You want to lose body fat. And that's not going to happen unless you're getting enough of the correct dietary fats in your food. Because the fats are satiating, they satisfy your appetite, and they do not do much to signal more insulin production. I mean, you eat fats, piece of cheese, piece of fatty meat, whatever. The fats will give you a teeny tiny insulin spike. And proteins will give you a little bit more, and then sugar gives you an insulin spike that's suitable to handle the emergency. If there's so much sugar in your system that you have to make so much insulin that you cannot pump all that sugar into the cells that could potentially burn it. I'm saying burn. We're not furnaces. So the word calorie really has no application to the human body. What's the rest mass of a photon? But, the insulin pumps potential energy substrates into and out of cells. If you have enough fats in your diet that you make a little bit of insulin and pack it into the fat cells, then that is where it will wait until your body says, hey, more fat is needed. And you might be needing it for, I've mentioned cellular membranes, brain construction, especially in little people. Fun little people. But, they need it. And after that's been pumped into cells, then it's like there's no emergency about what to do with it. Where does it go? With sugar, It has to be converted, and then it can be stored. So all of this sugar I didn't need, probably. Although I have always eaten my bacon and the fat on my meats. And my eggs. Except during the time I've reacted most to eggs. Not that I didn't like them. They didn't like my stomach. But the healthier I can keep my guts, the more I can eat. Just plain old regular eggs. Although there's some stuff I'm allergic to that cannot go into my diet. I am one of those people who has long known that I have whatever that gene is that makes cilantro taste like soap. And then I've reached the point that I have no tolerance for it. I tried and tried and tried. But one day, I was stopping for some tacos at Torchy's, which is a chain here in the Austin area. Might be quite a bit bigger by now, I don't know. But I said, make sure I don't get any of this. And I don't know if they did all the other tacos in my family's order first and then didn't change their gloves or what. But oh my gosh. I almost didn't make it to the trash can in time. I didn't even try to get the ladies' room. It was that bad. It was that immediate. If you're allergic to something, don't eat it. And the funny thing was, I didn't even get that soap taste. What I tasted was the gloves somebody put on to make my tacos. Or to make all the tacos, I don't know. Food handler gloves are not expensive, y'all. Change them if you need to. And they don't have any fennel on the menu there. And I'm kind of sad because I really don't dare go back if it's that easy to have a barfing episode there. Which it could have been worse. I mean, I'm just trying to eat something and get where I'm feeling okay, but I want to use hot sauce like everyone else. Most of their hot sauce has cilantro in it. Always get the mosquito. Yeah. So I pretty much have to make my own hot sauce. Tortillas can be had with no trace of cilantro in them. Most of them in the store are not flavored up. If they're green, it's a spinach wrap. It's bread with spinach buzzed into the flour. Go figure. I don't know why. And you can get some that are seasoned, but I don't need that. I don't hardly eat any tortillas. Sometimes I'll have some bread, not very often. Too much glyphosate. And gluten. And whatever that other thing is that's so able to cause inflammation. Is it gliadin? I'm not sure, really. But gluten's not the only evil thing in wheat. But sometimes, now I learned doing Atkins years ago, that sometimes when things stop, just not processing the same anymore, whatever, you have to make a change back the wrong direction and let your body think you're doing that for a while. And then, boom, nope, not going to do that after all. And that'll restart things. Now, if I was further along, he got away that time. Mosquitoes. Yuck. A lot of doctors will tell you, don't do this, don't do that, don't do whatever. You know, I'm an adult. I got to decide for myself what I'm going to do. And if I need something to kickstart metabolism, body morphology, recombination, things of that nature, then I have to decide for myself what that's going to be. I'm sure not going to the doctor for Ozempic. The crazy thing is, I think my insurance would cover it. I don't want it. I'm pretty sure my insurance would cover statin drugs. I don't want those either. Too many statins and other drugs are implicated in people suddenly having diabetes when they'd had no sign of even a concern about it. I don't need that. Someone should go out. If you have any questions about this, you can go through, just scroll through Dr. Canberry's available videos about the top 10 to 15 things that cause heart attacks. Type 2 diabetes is implicated. It's in the number one position, and it's the biggest wedge of the pie. In fact, you got to go down quite a few before cholesterol becomes a concern. And that's just... putting cholesterol in there is just guesswork on the part of the medical community. I'm at an age where higher cholesterol is protective. And seriously, this day and age, a lot of people going into the emergency room, either by ambulance or their friends bringing them, or their family bringing them, or their work bringing them. Whoa, somebody just had a backfire. But too many first-time heart attacks are happening to people who have low to moderate cholesterol. So I'm not worried about my cholesterol. The first time anybody ever made some noises about my cholesterol was way back before I got married. So I was in high school. Or maybe I had just finished. I might have just finished my GED and taken myself out. I don't know if this was how far before the wedding it was. But I had things to do. I wasn't going to hang around with people I didn't really like to learn things I already knew. But I'd gone with Dad to the store, and so many stores will do free health screenings or low-cost this and that test on the first Saturday of the month or on the last Sunday of the month or whatever. And Dad thought it would be a good idea if I went ahead and got baseline on everything. Smart guy. So I said, sure, what do I do? What do I sign? So Actually, I might not have been 18 yet. It might have been just before my birthday. Or it might have just been barely after. But they had the machine to put everything in. It was like, results fast. And then after a bit, we stopped back by the table where this was being done. And the guy's looking down, this is all good. And you might have to look at your... Oh, never mind. He'd gotten to my cholesterol. And my LDL was probably close to average for somebody who's young and a little bit overweight. But my HDL was awesome. He thought that maybe I needed to eat a little more fish or something sometimes. But he looked down and he's like, oh, well, these numbers are good. So my HDL trigs, I mean, that's from a long time back. I remember that. I don't remember if Dad got himself done at the time. But he goes to the VA for so many things. And then he's got a local doctor, because he's in Wyoming where there's not a lot of VA options. And sometimes he has to leave the state to do things or go down to Cheyenne, or he'll just go wherever. But that was a good idea. Just, it was available, so we did it. And my blood pressure was okay, and although I gotta tell you, my resting heart rate is better now with martial arts than it ever was when I was younger. Your resting heart rate is kind of important, because that means, if it's low enough, it means that you're not putting unnecessary stress on the arterial side of your circulatory tree. And the more pressure that happens on the arterial side, the more damage you get. And that damage signals the formation of plaques that are supposed to help heal the damage. But we usually aren't getting enough K2, and there's something else, probably the B6, that helps clear it out afterward. The K2 is the important one. But if a plaque forms to protect a small fissure that's trying to take place in an arterial wall, that's so that you don't open that fissure into a gaping hole and bleed out into your thoracic cavity or your abdominal cavity. And they use the word cavity as if it was actually empty space in there. Not really, but the blood would have somewhere to go. It would get out of the arterial system, or the circulatory system. And then you'd be in trouble. And if you didn't get that, if I didn't explain it well enough, then you probably should not be in an EMT course. What can I say? That was fun. One of the first things they do is teach you how to wash your hands. One would hope you would learn how when you're little. But it's important. It really is. The better you are at washing your hands, if you can wash your hands like a medic, colds and flu almost completely go away. Most people just, maybe they'll run a little water on their hands and turn the tap off, shake the water off, and then wipe them on the bathroom towel, which has been hanging there for who knows how long, because they didn't put it in the wash with all their shirts, or their other towels. I ran the dish towels, the bath towels, and bathroom towels over the weekend. Why not? Now, I did buy a bottle of bleach. I should probably bleach all the white ones on the dish towels. Grown man riding down the road on not even a woman's bike, a girl's bike. It's way too small for him. Somebody didn't chain up their bike. It looks like a nice enough bike. Or maybe he's just going around the corner to remind somebody that they owe him gas money, or I don't know what. Doesn't matter. I have got some exercise today. I need to get my stuff together and go inside. Little dog is probably looking for me. Although this time of day, the light may not be bright, but it's there. You can tell there's some light because this is not as dark as my videos sometimes get. Although it's kind of dark south and east of me where there's more clouds. I got the wrapper from my snack. Like I said, get the trash out when you get out. Or if you stop at the gas station. I have the pint jar I was drinking my iced coffee from in the bag with my snack wrapper. I've got my element water and my bag. So, was it earlier today or yesterday, I think, I mentioned trying something new. Eat something healthy. Be who you should be. Look up at the moon when the sky is clear. Taking a sunset. It's a nice day. And there's no reason for you not to have a nice day, or a nice evening, or whatever works for you, wherever you're at. But remember, Grandma loves you and wants you to be okay. Bye-bye.